for a long time, and he's also like a mentor to me because every game he'll tell me what stuff I do good or what stuff I do bad.
Anisha Rosnah's initial embrace by the royal family of Brunei was a momentous event, marking the union of modernity with tradition. Born to a Croatian mother and a Bruneian father, Anisha's multicultural background was an intriguing point of interest for both the public and the royal family. Her upbringing in a relatively liberal environment, coupled with her education abroad, contributed to a unique perspective that she brought with her into the royal fold. When Anisha married Prince Mateen, the younger son of Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, she became a significant figure within the royal family, a role that carried with it immense scrutiny and expectation. Her arrival as the princess consort was widely celebrated in the media, with her beauty, intelligence, and modern sensibility quickly becoming subjects of admiration. Her image as a poised, articulate woman seemed to fit well with the values that Brunei's royal family sought to project to the world. The marriage was seen as a symbol of the royal family's ability to adapt to a changing world, while still holding on to the nation's core principles of Islam and tradition. Anisha's charm, grace, and education made her an appealing figure within Brunei's royal circles. She represented a bridge between Brunei's rich cultural heritage and the outside world, showcasing a level of sophistication and global awareness that was not often seen in Bruneian royalty. Her prior international experiences, particularly her time in London, where she pursued her studies, positioned her as someone who could contribute to Brunei's growing international presence. The royal family, always careful about their public image, likely saw in Anisha a fresh, contemporary figure who could appeal to younger generations both within Brunei and abroad. However, her integration into royal life was not without challenges. The delicate balance between maintaining the traditional expectations of the royal family and embracing Anisha's modern sensibilities was not an easy task. Despite this, her initial acceptance by the royal family seemed to be smooth, characterized by public appearances, royal events, and a poised image that blended seamlessly with Brunei's cultural expectations. It was clear from the start that Anisha was not just a figurehead, she was someone who brought a new energy to the royal family, offering a glimpse of Brunei's future without losing sight of its deeply rooted traditions. The revelation of Anisha's past was a scandal that rocked the carefully constructed image of the royal family. It was an unanticipated turn of events, one that highlighted the complexities of public life in Brunei, where royal figures are held to extraordinarily high standards. Anisha, who had been widely celebrated for her marriage into the royal family, found herself at the center of a media storm when details of her personal history came to light. The circumstances surrounding the revelation were far from straightforward, and its aftermath sent shockwaves through the royal household. The issue stemmed from Anisha's previous romantic relationships, which were not in line with the conservative values upheld by the royal family. In her youth, Anisha had been linked to individuals outside the royal and political circles of Brunei, which in itself was not unusual for someone of her background. However, certain details, particularly regarding her involvement in high-profile relationships that were seen as controversial, caused public outcry. There were whispers of a past that included some decisions and associations that would not sit well with the expectations of the royal family or the conservative Islamic principles that governed the Sultanate. Though Anisha had long since moved on from this past, the revelation sparked an intense period of scrutiny. The royal family, known for its high moral standards and strict adherence to cultural and religious norms, found itself under pressure. The public's reaction ranged from shock and disappointment to outright condemnation. Anisha, once viewed as a perfect match for Prince Mateen, now faced questions about her past and her suitability as a member of the royal family. In the weeks that followed, rumors swirled about how the royal family had handled the situation internally. Sources close to the family suggested that Anisha's past was not something they had been fully aware of before the marriage, leaving them scrambling to manage the fallout. Despite the challenges, Anisha remained largely silent, refusing to address the issue directly in public. Her husband, Prince Mateen, appeared steadfast in his support for her, but it was clear that the scandal had shaken the foundations of their private life. The scandal not only cast a shadow over Anisha's public image but also raised questions about the rigid expectations placed upon the members of the royal family. Anisha's scandal highlighted the delicate balance between modernity and tradition, the tension between personal freedom and the preservation of the monarchy's image. For the royal family, the situation forced them to reconsider how they navigated the intersection of tradition, public perception, and personal history. Despite the storm, Anisha seemed determined to move forward, her resilience emerging as a defining characteristic during this turbulent time. However, the road ahead was uncertain, and the scandal would forever alter her position within the royal family. The cultural clash and subsequent backlash that Anisha faced after the scandalous revelation of her past was a reflection of the broader tensions between traditional values and modern influences in Brunei. Anisha, though born in a wealthy and influential family, was not fully immersed in the deeply conservative cultural norms that defined the royal family's world. As someone who had lived in the cosmopolitan, westernized environments of Europe and the United States, her values, lifestyle, and even her social circles were often at odds with the strict expectations placed upon members of the royal family. Brunei, as a small but affluent Southeast Asian kingdom, prides itself on its Islamic principles, with the Sultan at the head of a government that integrates religious law into its civil structure. In this context, the royal family's image is not just a matter of personal reputation, but a symbol of the entire nation's identity. The Sultan and his family are seen as living embodiments of the nation's values, and any deviation from these standards could be perceived as a threat to the kingdom's unity and moral integrity. Anisha's Western upbringing and her past relationships, which were once deemed inconsequential in her world, became points of intense cultural contention. The revelation of her past wasn't just about personal choices, it was an affront to the ideals of modesty, propriety, and religious adherence that are central to Bruneian life. Many in the public saw her as an outsider who did not respect the sacred responsibilities that came with being a member of the royal family. The backlash was swift and severe, especially from the more conservative factions of society, who felt that the royal family should be above reproach in every aspect of life. There were heated debates in the press and among social media users, with some expressing their disillusionment with the royal family for allowing such a controversial figure to become part of their ranks. The backlash wasn't limited to the media, it also manifested in public demonstrations, with some even calling for Anisha's removal from the royal circle. It was a clear indication of how deeply the clash between modern, globalized values and traditional, religiously based norms had permeated the kingdom's society. Despite the challenges, there were also those who defended Anisha. They argued that her past should not define her future, and that Brunei needed to evolve in its understanding of personal history and redemption. Some pointed to the increasing influence of global culture and the importance of adapting to a changing world. However, their voices were often drowned out by the louder, more traditionalist factions who saw Anisha's past as a betrayal of the values that had kept the royal family and the nation intact. This cultural clash raised fundamental questions about the role of the monarchy in a rapidly changing world. How much should the royal family adhere to tradition, and where should they allow for personal freedom and modernity? Anisha, caught in the eye of the storm, struggled to reconcile these conflicting pressures. The backlash, though damaging to her public image, ultimately forced a broader reflection on the delicate balance between upholding tradition and embracing progress in Brunei. Amidst the swirling controversy surrounding Anisha's past, Prince Mateen of Brunei emerged as one of her most vocal and steadfast supporters. His public defense was not just a display of familial loyalty, but also a rare moment in the royal family's history when one of its members chose to stand up for personal freedom and individuality in the face of immense public pressure. Mateen, who had long been seen as a progressive figure within the royal household, became the target of both praise and criticism for his decision to defend Anisha. Prince Mateen, known for his charm, athleticism, and high-profile presence on social media, had always carried an air of modernity and a more global outlook. Unlike many members of the royal family who maintain a relatively low profile, Mateen had made significant inroads in both the sporting world and on various international platforms, giving him a reputation that was a bit more open-minded and adaptable than traditional royal figures. He was viewed by some as a bridge between Brunei's old world values and the changing demands of global culture. His defense of Anisha began shortly after the scandal broke, when social media and local news outlets were rife with criticisms. Instead of distancing himself from her, Mateen took to his social media platforms, where he addressed the issue directly. In a rare post, he expressed his support for Anisha, calling for understanding and compassion for those who have made mistakes in their past. He emphasized the importance of looking beyond someone's history to see their character and the positive contributions they could make in the future. This move was met with surprise by many, as it was not customary for members of the royal family to engage so openly in public debates, let alone defend a figure in such a controversial situation. Mateen's words were a stark contrast to the prevailing sentiment in Brunei at the time. Many people, especially those who held conservative views, were shocked by his support. It was seen by some as an act of rebellion against the monarchy's more traditional stance. a dangerous game that could undermine the authority of his family. Yet, despite the backlash, Prince Mateen continued to publicly support Anisha, stating that personal growth and redemption should not be judged by past mistakes alone. His stance was also a signal of the generational divide within Brunei's royal family. The younger generation, including Mateen, appeared more open to change, while the older generation, led by the Sultan, held tightly to the kingdom's traditional values. By defending Anisha, Mateen not only supported her but also implicitly pushed back against the more rigid cultural expectations that had defined Brunei's royal image for decades. In the months following his public defense, Prince Mateen's popularity among younger Bruneians surged. His willingness to challenge the status quo resonated with many who felt that the kingdom needed to modernize, especially in its approach to issues like gender, personal freedom, and past mistakes. For some, Mateen's defense of Anisha was seen as a beacon of hope, symbolizing the possibility of a more inclusive and progressive future for Brunei. Despite the outcry from conservative factions, there was a notable shift in public opinion over time. While not everyone agreed with Prince Mateen's position, his bold stance opened the door for broader discussions about personal agency, family loyalty, and the balance between tradition and modernity in a rapidly changing world. By choosing to defend Anisha publicly, Mateen not only supported his sister-in-law but also carved out a space for more open-minded discourse within the royal family. After the scandal surrounding her past, Anisha's life became a public spectacle. Her every move was scrutinized, her personal history dissected, and her character questioned. However, despite the weight of the situation, Anisha chose to confront the public's judgment head-on. She was determined not to allow her past to define her future, and began a conscious effort to rebuild her image, both in the eyes of the media and the public at large. Anisha's strategy was twofold. First, she sought to address the past directly, acknowledging the mistakes that had caused the controversy, and second, she worked tirelessly to demonstrate her personal growth and commitment to positive change. She understood that merely apologizing was not enough. What mattered more was showing the world that she had evolved beyond her previous actions and that her character and intentions were fundamentally different. One of the first steps Anisha took was to step back from the limelight temporarily. Recognizing that media frenzy could overshadow her efforts to rebuild, she withdrew from most public events and social media platforms, opting for a more controlled and thoughtful approach. This absence allowed the initial backlash to subside and gave her the space to recalibrate her image. During this period, she focused on personal reflection, engaging with close family and friends, and seeking professional guidance on how best to navigate the media landscape. When she returned to the public eye, Anisha made a calculated and deliberate choice to present herself as someone dedicated to charity and social causes. She started by becoming involved with several non-profit organizations that focused on women's empowerment, mental health awareness, and education. By aligning herself with causes that resonated with many people, she hoped to demonstrate that she had evolved into someone who could contribute positively to society. Her involvement with these organizations, whether it was through fundraising events, public speaking, or personal appearances, helped her reshape her image as a compassionate, forward-thinking individual who cared about making a difference. Another key aspect of Anisha's efforts to rebuild her image was her approach to transparency. Rather than hiding from the past or deflecting questions, she chose to address her critics directly in interviews. She was candid about the mistakes she had made and the lessons she had learned, expressing genuine remorse for her past actions while emphasizing the growth she had experienced since. This level of vulnerability was not something that was typical for someone in her position, but Anisha's willingness to open up about her journey made her more relatable to the public. It showed a side of her that was human, fallible, and willing to learn from her errors. In parallel, Anisha worked with a team of public relations experts who helped craft a narrative of personal transformation. Together, they built a media campaign that focused on the positive aspects of her life, highlighting her charitable work, her dedication to self-improvement, and her support from the royal family. They carefully selected the moments in which she would appear in the media, ensuring that each appearance reinforced the message of change and redemption. Her efforts did not go unnoticed. Slowly, the public's perception began to shift. While there were still those who refused to forgive her past, Anisha's dedication to personal growth and her active role in social causes earned her the respect of many. Her journey became a testament to the power of resilience and the importance of second chances. By carefully curating her public image and demonstrating real change, Anisha was able to carve out a space for herself beyond the scandal. Over time, the narrative surrounding her began to focus less on her past mistakes and more on her present actions. The woman who once faced widespread condemnation was now being recognized for her contributions to society, her ongoing efforts to rebuild her reputation, and her unwavering determination to prove that people are not defined solely by their past. The relationship between Anisha and Prince Mateen has been under constant scrutiny, from the very first public acknowledgement of their bond to the aftermath of the scandal surrounding her past. Despite the external pressures and public opinion, the resilience of their relationship has remained steadfast, becoming a powerful symbol of support and mutual commitment. Together, they have proven that love, trust, and dedication can overcome even the most intense challenges. Initially, the royal family's acceptance of Anisha was met with significant public skepticism. People questioned the compatibility of the two, often focusing on Anisha's past and her perceived lack of experience in the royal lifestyle. However, Prince Mateen, undeterred by the criticism, remained steadfast in his support for her. He was resolute in his belief that Anisha was a woman of substance and character, qualities that far outweighed the negativity surrounding her past. This unwavering support from the prince became the bedrock of their relationship, and it helped them weather the storms that followed. One of the most defining features of their relationship has been their ability to communicate openly and honestly with each other. As a couple navigating the complexities of royal life, they have found strength in their mutual understanding and shared vision for the future. Prince Mateen's emotional maturity and Anisha's resilience have allowed them to build a partnership based on deep respect, trust, and a shared commitment to overcoming adversity together. They have faced numerous challenges, from public backlash to the intense media scrutiny of their personal lives, but their ability to remain united in the face of these pressures has been a testament to the strength of their bond. Anisha's efforts to rebuild her public image were not done in isolation. Throughout this process, Prince Mateen has stood by her side, offering quiet but firm support. His role as her confidant, protector, and advocate has been vital in helping her regain her footing. He publicly defended her character, often speaking out against the media's portrayal of her, and helped her navigate the difficult path of rebuilding trust with the public. This public support, coupled with their private moments of solidarity, has allowed their relationship to thrive despite the challenges they have faced. Moreover, their shared sense of purpose has contributed to their resilience. Both Anisha and Prince Mateen have shown a commitment to serving their community and supporting causes that are close to their hearts. By working together on philanthropic initiatives and appearing at events that highlight their shared values, they have reinforced their partnership in the eyes of the public. This has been a key part of their strategy for moving forward, as it shows that their relationship is not just about overcoming personal challenges but also about making a positive impact on society. As the years have passed, their bond has only strengthened. The public has begun to see them not only as a royal couple but as partners who complement each other in every aspect of their lives. Their shared experiences, particularly in navigating the aftermath of the scandal, have deepened their connection and forged a sense of unity that is unshakable. Looking to the future, it is clear that their relationship will continue to evolve as they step into their roles as royal partners. Anisha, now more respected and accepted by the public, will likely take on a greater role in royal duties, standing alongside Prince Mateen as a powerful team. Their partnership, once tested by external forces, has emerged stronger than ever, built on a foundation of love, resilience, and shared purpose. As they move forward, their relationship will undoubtedly serve as an example to others of the power of resilience in the face of adversity. The future of their union looks bright, with both of them committed to supporting each other in their royal duties while continuing to work toward the common goal of bettering the world around them. The strength of their relationship, built on trust, communication, and unwavering support, serves as a testament to the enduring power of love and partnership, and their journey together as royal partners is just beginning.